Hey, what's up, guys? The East Coast Rollers. I'm Rob, C5, C6, T10 quadriplegic. I handed off to Mr. Angry Quad.
I am AQ, Sean Peter McCartney, affectionately known as. Uh, 456 squad, going on 10 million years right at this point in time, or roughly about 15, don't know. Um, I just love everything other than being a gimp, but story for another day. Leland, it's all you, my brother.
As Sean has said, my name
Can you
is
turn
Lelan.
your YouTube off?
Hello?
The volume to your YouTube. Are you watching it?
Yeah, I already closed out the window. I was trying to see the live chat, but I shut it down.
Okay.
Is it good now?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Anyway, my name is Lelan. I am a C6, C7 incomplete quad. I have three different SCIs, and all kinds of other stuff, and some sort of unnamed as of yet neurodegenerative disorder. So I get all the goodies.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like no diagnosis whatsoever to neurodegenerative disease or
They're having problems because they usually track a neurodegenerative disease by the rate of expansion of paralysis. But since I have three SCIs, that sort of throws a monkey wrench into their diagnostic thing. So they left me at our best guess is you have something called primary lateral sclerosis, which is like ALS's underachieving second cousin.
Yeah, I have heard of that. I actually know two people that I actually have met, and now three people, which is really unusual because that is not a normal thing.
It's not.
Wow.
It was really hard to find any information on it. So
Yeah, the only thing I know on it is now I know three people, which is insane.
yeah, I have not yet gotten my YouTube PhD in my own disease yet.
Oh, goodness, there, brother. Just out of curiosity, you say three injuries?
Yes. Basically, my entire spinal column, from the base of my skull all the way down to my sacroiliac joints, is completely fried. Too many years going way too hard in the army. But the three main spinal cord injuries, I guess, C6, C7. Then I've got fluid-filled cyst in between T2 and T9. It's very hydrodynamic. It reacts to everything, air pressure, body temperature, everything. And then between L3 and S1 is a train wreck. So that's not technically a spinal cord injury because your spinal cord proper stops at like L2, and anything below that is what they call the horsetail, but whatever, it's all jacked up.
Yeah.
So I count it.
Yeah, I do know about that, but however, it does go down to the bottom of the coccyx. But
Yeah.
after you're a kid, that sacral has that fuses. That's one of the places where you actually lose a couple bones because that fuses it up from the time you're a little squirt till you don't get all big and bad. Just out of curiosity, you just think a repeated pounding has put you into this whole thing? There was no cataclysmic, catastrophic situation.
No, it started. When I was a soldier. Okay, I was a power lifter, a martial artist, and an infantry soldier, and my ethos was train harder than you will ever have to fight. That way, when you get to the fight, you won't have to fight at all.
But
So I went
full agreement.
5,000% in every single thing I did. In the beginning of 2002, while on a deployment to Oman, my right side SI joint sheared. I thought I'd just pulled something in my hip or whatever, so I kept going because I was a big tough guy. Basically, what happened was that support structure, that lateral support structure for holding myself up, started failing, and I didn't do anything about it. At the end of that year, the other side had started going, and I actually took on the first, I guess, true SCI, the initial spinal injury itself. when my everything between L3 and S1 sort of collapsed in on itself and twisted. Um, and then it was this whole big thing where my chain of command thought that I was faking an injury so I wouldn't have to go to Kuwait and Iraq. So they were gonna throw me in jail, do all this stuff, whatever. They did an MRI, and then they found out that no, I actually did have a busted back. And it's like, well, you can still walk, and we're going to Kuwait in 10 days, so you're going to Kuwait in 10 days. And then everything above that just kept building up from everything else I had to do to try to survive.
Jeez. Yeah,
And
things don't typically get better with age and wear. You know,
Oh,
it is what it is.
keep
I want
trying
to,
to sneak up on it and see maybe
yeah,
peekaboo. It got all better.
I want to slide in here. You'll see that Tara's with us tonight.
Hello,
Cordy is taking some time off, and
Is
he
he
will
okay?
be back. Yeah, he'll be okay.
Okay, good.
But man, it's great to have you on the show.
I appreciate it. I appreciate being here. I can't see the chat, so I'm not going to be able. I don't know how to bring up the chat without opening up another window and giving an echo of myself. So
What
I
do you
don't want
see on this? What do you see on the screen?
I see 4 screens. I don't see a screen by itself for Rob. I see you, Tara, me, in our own little quarters, and then in the bottom quarter, I have a screen probably to what they're seeing on YouTube or wherever, and it's got the live chat on the side, but it's like small. I can't read it.
You can make that screen bigger. That little window.
Oh, that square. I'm
Yeah,
hovering over it now.
I always try to open it up because
There we go.
I can't see shit.
I have a
Right.
question for you. What
Who, me?
is all those spinal cord injuries affect? Like what do you
Okay, so I have
lack?
in each leg. I sort of I cheat to qualify. See, here comes the neurodegenerative thing. When my speech drops out and I start losing control of my head and my neck, that's when things get interesting. But I sort of I get into the incomplete quad framework, I guess, as a technicality because I have two. There's 2 major nerves in each one of my legs that are partially paralyzed, moderately paralyzed is what the medical thing says, and then I've got 1 major nerve in each arm that's moderately paralyzed, on top of all of the other stacked injuries in my spinal column. So because I have neurological damage and effect in all 4 of my limbs, then I get in on the technicality for being a quadriplegic. I guess that's how that works.
Quadra, tetra, it's all the same thing. It's just different spelling.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're speaking and I'm not looking at you, trust me, it's better for me that way. I can listen better. I
No,
fucking
it's
better.
it's okay. I ain't much to look at anyway.
Talking about.
So the topic, speaking of speech, the topic today, the thumbnail says, they're my words and I forgot what they are. Something about not being a guest star in our own lives or something.
Exactly.
That's like the subtitle to the topic because Rob had asked me what I would want to talk about, and it's sense of place. And then the subtitle to describe what I meant by sense of place was not feeling like a guest star in your own life. So I guess that'd be kind of the place to start the topic if we want to do that.
Yes.
So unbeknownst to many people, I didn't bring them because I don't feel like showing off or whatever, but I actually do have, I've got vocationally and educationally, I've got years of experience in both ministry work and mental health, everything from early child development, early autism, addiction recovery, trauma-informed care, all kinds of stuff, dealing with residential, clinical and residential care, adults with severe mood disorders, and all kinds of stuff. I've been in charge, or not in charge of, but I've led several ministry type efforts, whatever. And this kind of thing that I'm doing now, living and active and Montel's New Machine, really started in Louisiana in 2014, and it was called the Healing Hearts Project. At the time, I was part of a pastor group for something called Freedom Biker Church in Louisiana. And I had this thing where I take a bunch of art supplies to the local Christian bookstore, and I put them on a table, and I just put up a sign, say, if you just need some peace to just get some stuff worked out, you can sit and talk, you can sit and not talk, whatever. Write out some your favorite verses or prayers or whatever, and then just take a moment to unload, or whatever. And then for those who would come after a little bit, they would start getting into, well, okay, I don't want to just vent. I want to actually record something that's encouraging or whatever else for other people that might be going through something that's worse. And so we started taking the artwork that people were making and sending them to like oncology wards or burn centers and stuff like that. We were finding people that were inside of inpatient care for one reason or the other, just to give them, or the retirement homes, places like that, just so people could have that encouragement of, you know, a voice kind of sharing, bearing some of that load with them. While I was doing that, there was a woman that had a magazine called Government Spotlight had actually written an article about the Healing Arts Project, and it was seen by this woman who had her own ministry going on called Final Harvest. She was stage 4 brain cancer, and she was 100% terminal. And she came a couple nights to the Healing Arts Project to come check it out and just to sit and talk or whatever. And she told me one of the most important things that she ever said to me was the two things that she had before cancer were her long, beautiful, flowing, golden locks of hair and her ability to sit and read and study for hours at a time. And she lost both. And when she lost both, she actually started feeling like she didn't belong. You know, chemo and the radiation therapies and all of the other things, and just the weight of losing so much of herself because of this disease. And it was tempted, is what she told me. I'm not going to give her name because her family asked years ago after she passed that I not do that. So
No,
I'm going to respect that.
absolutely.
But she said that and this was before I was in a wheelchair, had the cane or anything. I'd been injured for years already, but I hadn't begun my deep, steep decline to the chair yet. She said that the very first thing that went when, you know, her ability to sit and read for hours or whatever, or her long, beautiful hair, or all these other things that she felt were part of her identity, the first thing she lost was her sense of place. Like, what do I do now? Where do I belong? What should I be doing?
Almost
you know,
like a sense of belonging and a sense of community.
sense of purpose, all of that. She said she lost all of that just from those two things.
Oh, baby.
So that's kind of what, like, all those years ago, that I've kind of kept that in my mind, and I've always wanted to do something like Living Inactive with the channel that I have, or Marco's New Machine with the practical hands-on stuff. So that's where the principle, having a sense of place or maintaining a sense of place, comes from.
Now you're the front man on this entire thing. You were like running the contact table. You had said
I don't have a crew. I'm just me going
no,
around bumping into people, and
that's what I mean. You're the guy.
yeah, no, I'm just a guy running my mouth sometimes.
Oh no, you're the guy.
But yeah, I tried to hang on. I tried to start a Living Inactive live gathering type thing. You guys probably remember it. I was trying to do it, but I couldn't get anybody to like actually show. Like, there were people who were trying to reach other disabled people in the region and tell them about it. giving out my phone number and everything. And after like 3 or 4 months, there was just no feedback whatsoever, and I was running myself ragged between 3 different cities trying to get this done, and it just didn't happen. So,
Yeah, did you do one of your live streams on that? I
I did.
remember you mentioning something along those lines. That's why the one time I was just like, geez, I tried to jump into your live stream, but you were like, I guess you were like, fuck it, I'm out, or something like that. I was like, oh, damn it.
I was probably thinking that. I don't think I would have said that, but yeah.
Well,
It just gets heavy, you know. Like if you think you're doing something all by yourself, and if this is the one thing you think you've got to bring back your sense of place, your sense of purpose, whatever, and it fizzles in front of your face, it gets heavy. Like it's just like fine. I guess I'll find something else then.
you know, there's always the next chapter, dude. You know that.
Oh yeah,
Especially,
there's always the next challenge, the next thing.
considering the fact you're a man of God, bro, so you know, you know what, you know that whole one door closes, one door opens, dude.
That's the thing.
Who would ever know that you'd be hanging out talking to me? You know, hey, things.
Like I'd actually done. I didn't know how active the live chat was going to be or whatever, so I actually did a video. And Rob, I gave you the link for it. Sean, I think you saw it. I actually did a background video for this entire concept on my own channel.
Yes.
So if anybody had seen it, you know, it would take a lot of the background stuff out of the time that we have to talk about these things. Because in that video I say that the sense of place, the form, the function of purpose. And I know if I'm alive for a reason. There's a reason this stuff hasn't taken me out yet. And whatever that reason is, it's on me, if it's not clear, to just keep digging around until I find what it is. And then just trying to have as much opening myself up to have as many opportunities for someone else to benefit from whatever it is I'm doing, whether it works from my perspective or not.
Purposeful impact, depending on your message and everything else like that. That's really important. I mean, that's what we're trying to do here. Sorry, go get him.
I mean, reaching one person is all it means, all it takes. You know, that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
That woman that I met in Louisiana, she was actually, as she was going through all of the things herself, she would sit there and she would actually be the encouragement inside a room full of other terminal stage 4 cancer patients. She'd be sitting there in the oncology ward as people were looking at the end, and she was using her own final days to comfort others in theirs. So, and that just really stayed with me. Like this, you know, it's okay. I've got all of these things going on, and this disease that I guess nobody can figure out or whatever. But I've seen people with worse circumstances probably succeeding in doing more than I ever could. So I've got no room to complain, or no excuse really to even just sit on my hands and being like, oh, well, I'm just a cripple. So what can I do, little old me? So I try not to stay in that headspace.
No, never play the victim. Never play the victim. Regardless of situation, whatever it is, as long as you got that victor mindset, you know, you're 500 yards ahead of the game, dude. You know, and that's everything. Much like what you're talking about. That's what I've been preaching about my entire, since I started this channel. Perhaps maybe my language just a tad different than yours, but the message is the same.
Well, Sean, here's what you and I have in common. Maybe not very.
Rob.
I'm a combat veteran and I'm Gen X. Okay, so I'm very much the guy that you might be about to stomp a mud hole in my chest, but screw you anyway. You know, like that's kind of my attitude. Like this is gonna kill me, whatever, or it's not gonna kill me.
Might as well go down kicking there, Brody.
Yeah. Not waiting for permission from anybody.
New.
to do the things that I can see to do.
You just
I'm
gotta
talking
keep.
way too much. There's 4 people here, and I'm running my mouth all the time.
Oh, you're good, man. You just gotta keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And
You got no option.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
The
get
hell?
into some of your hobbies, though. Wow.
Which ones?
Rather interesting, I must say.
Rather interesting.
So many.
Yeah.
I
Like
know
Nick
Tara
said,
likes.
I have too many to remember which ones anyone would want to talk about. What specifically do you have in mind?
Well, the last banjo you were playing.
Oh, which one? Wait. Again, which
Yeah.
one?
Which one?
It was
Yo,
the very
500
last.
of them, dude.
It was us. Some guy made it. Used to, and it was the very last video that you
Cigar
did on
box
it.
one?
Yes, the cigar box one.
Yes.
That's nice.
I actually had to. That was something that he hadn't actually. Most of my banjos are custom made for me. This was something that he had made a while ago, and I was wanting to. I just wanted to have something. He records music or whatever. I was wanting anything. Aaron Flinner is his name, by the way. I was wanting anything Aaron Flinner original just to have it. And that was what he had available that he was letting go of, and so he sent it to me. And then I was having a hard time with the shape of it and everything, and I just got into learning that guitars weren't going to happen for me. 4 strings is easier than 6 on a fretboard, by the way. But I figured out that I could, if I get in my recliner and I lay the banjo across my lap like a slide guitar,
Oh,
I could actually change the tuning, and then I could finger pick some pretty decent melodies on it. And I think that's one of the shorts that I have on my channel. Is the night that I discovered that. So
Yeah, dude, I never saw you up on the frets, and I was just like, how is this prick actually playing this thing? And I saw you with the, hitting the strings and stuff, but I was just like, damn, because, you do such a closed shot.
right, that's
Cheater.
mainly how I do that is I'll take my left hand, and then like if I can rest my hand on top of the soundboard without infringing on the strings, I can actually use my left half a hand and get hello Leon. I'm glad you could tune in.
Leon.
I take my left half hand and I'll actually like play with making finding the frets or whatever and making the notes. But mostly what I do is I just use the edges of my hands and I just kind of rest them in places or whatever, kind of in a rhythm as I'm picking with my right half a hand. And then that's what I never have any stamina to actually play full songs or whatever. And is nowhere near controlled enough to actually get like real virtuosity in any kind of music playing, whatever. But I can put stuff together that doesn't sound terrible and play for a few seconds until that control goes away. And so that's what I do.
Well, I gotta tell you, it sounds like you're almost making sense to me. But even still, at the same time, it sort of cracks me up because if by hook or by crook, we will figure it out. It just depends, determination and what it's one of those other things. I mean, you're gonna get out of it what you put into it. If you don't try, you're never gonna succeed.
And that's the thing. Like success doesn't have to be the end goal of anything that you do.
Right.
It does. So the thing that has to be the end goal is the not giving up. It's the trying. It's the whole thing with Malto's new machine is what if people are waiting. I'll go into that origin story at some point later, probably not in this one. But on my channel, I explain the origin story of Malto's new machine, and it's basically just trying to help people figure out if they're not waiting for the wrong thing before they get started, or think they deserve to have a real life that's fulfilling.
Right. You just got to jump in and figure out what's going to happen next, dude.
I needed a much larger sippy cup than what I have.
I mean, if you think about it, if you're waiting around, all you're doing is getting older and closer to death, my man. That's all there is to it.
And you're
Now, with you
losing
playing,
time. Sorry.
with
So
you
what's
playing
that?
that one instrument, could you play other ones?
I started with trying to play all because I've always wanted to be a musician, but it was never the right time. I was too busy. I couldn't get it. I was desperately looking for work all over the place. Couldn't ever afford anything. Couldn't invest the time. I had people in my life that would not allow that sort of self kind of pursuit. I don't have any of that anymore. So all my excuses are gone. So I started with the instruments that I always wanted to play: piano, guitar, uh, fiddle, violin, and I worked my way through what I can't do on the way to discovering the things that I can do. And whenever I came across an instrument that I couldn't play anymore, I made sure that I took what I had built up and put it out there in a way that someone who otherwise wouldn't be able to afford it could actually start in on it if that was something that they wanted to do. So I always try to keep things going in that sort of mindset of not letting anything go to waste and creating opportunity for other people, even if they don't work out for me.
I would like to know, how many instruments do you own?
Individual instruments or
Yeah,
types?
yeah, types.
Okay, so I have lap dulcimers. I have a hammer dulcimer. I have the banjos. I have harmonicas. I have two zithers. I have a ukulele. I have a violin uke. Um, I have a digital piano. What else do I have?
I've seen that ukulele, dude. I was like, what is that thing?
That's some cool thing. I don't call it a ukulele because the companies that made those things back in the Depression era, they had all these copyright wars and everything about names and whatever. I call it an adaptive fiddle because you play it. I can hold it like this. I can't even hear. Maybe I can show you. I can hold it kind of like this in my left half a hand. I'll brace it, and then like I can take a bow, just kind of go back and forth, and it's got like really specialized kind of tensioning system where I can play notes depending on where I put the bow across. So it's like a cheater way of playing the violin.
Dude, you're faking it till you're making it, man. Doesn't make any difference.
I never make it.
What are
I
you
fake it all day
talking
long.
about? No, never making it is just sitting there watching TV all day and crying in your coffee, dude.
That's for
I
sure.
Any jerk off can do that. Get out of here.
I actually got rid of all of my TVs and my gaming system because I had the Xbox Series X, because I would get stuck in this loop where I had this game that I loved, Way of the Hunter, and I would spend hours. I was like, oh, this is therapeutic because I can get on my TV, put on my headphones, and get the controller, and I can walk around in the woods and in the mountains and whatever and explore nature and go hunting and everything for hours on end. And I'd spend like a day and a half in the stupid game. And I was
Oh,
like,
I thought you had this thing going on while you were walking around in the woods. I was like, look at the trees, dude. All right, but you're virtually living in a different universe.
yeah,
All right.
that's where I was. That was my sensory deprivation chamber. And I started feeling like I was wasting whatever time I had to be more productive, to be more active. And so I got rid of all the TVs, I got rid of the gaming system, whatever. And I'm glad I did. It was cool to be able to quote unquote walk around in the woods and go hunting and all that, but I knew it wasn't real. And the things that I didn't have when I lost the ability to do those things on my legs weren't being replaced by the video game. And I was just making myself, I was basically just turning into like a bland, like photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy.
Oh, so is that when you came up with this entire like idea of like how to live your life with purpose and find your place and everything else like that?
That's when I got serious about it. Like I've had this idea for a while, but I didn't get serious about it until I fell into that trap myself. And I was like, well, I'm good. I know the answers, so I can just tell other people. how to do better without applying it to myself, and then I started turning into mush basically, and I didn't like it. I felt like a hypocrite, and I wasn't applying the things that I knew to say to people to my own life. So
Of course, I got you. I think I'm gonna shut up for a little while. Tara and Rob, if you guys want, because I think I could probably talk to Leland for the next 40 hours.
yeah, I'm very sorry. I don't mean to monopolize anything.
No, you're good, man.
Hey,
This-
do me a favor. Do me a favor, kid. Contact me, Angry Quad. Let's let's swap numbers. We'll start dating. I can hang out and talk to you for about 2 hours. Good, bad, or indifferent.
You're talking to me. The kid threw me off. Like I turned 50 like next month. The kid threw me off a little bit, but I assume you're talking to me now.
And I can't say anything about gaming because I like
Shut up, Tara.
the
I'm not-
game myself. And the Way
I
the
know.
Hunter is a really cool game.
It's an awesome
actually.
game. I love it.
But-
I'm not speaking ill of the gaming. I
Yeah.
don't mean to stomp on
It's-
you, Rob. I don't.
I guess it's a matter how much time you actually spend doing it.
Because I was all about the outdoors and everything before I couldn't be. And one of the last things I did on my feet was go walk to a pasture outside of town. I think I just wrote a post about this. One of the last things I did on my feet was go take a walk along the farm country next to a pasture and go sing to a bunch of cows to see how long it would take a whole herd to come up to the fence and see whatever it was I was goofing around about. And I stayed there because I knew it was going to be the last time I was going to be able to do it. And so by going so deep into the counterfeit with that constant thought that this is a counterfeit, this isn't the real experience. I know what the real experience is.
Good
That
one.
just made it unsatisfying for me. So I'm not saying anything bad about what you get out of it, Rob. I'm not.
Right.
It's just because I was, I've lived in the bayou. I've gone gator hunting. I've done all of these things like in real life. So
Where are you from?
everywhere, nowhere.
No. You said you were born on the bayou, Brody.
I spent some time there. I was actually born on Galveston Island, but I've been all over the map, north, south, not so much west, but all over the eastern part. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, New York, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Wisconsin.
Where is this island? You out of Louisiana or you out of Okeechobee? Where you at? Or Okefenokee?
I'm in Wisconsin right now. I'm not in-
No. I'm saying when you were stomping the bayou, dude.
Oh, I was in Beauregard Parish, Calcasieu Parish,
Okay.
Vermilion Parish, right along the Gulf Coast.
Okay. I'm with you now. It's just I got lost there for a sec.
Lake Charles, Lafayette.
Sorry, kids. I started talking again. Oopsie. I have that
No, you're
problem.
good.
I know Tarek probably has some interesting questions on sewing machines.
Yes.
What
See,
got
so
you
now
into
you're
fixing
really
them up
trying
and
to lose
donating
control.
them?
I can talk about sewing machines forever. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What got you into fixing up those old sewing machines and donating them?
I actually got the idea from the name Montel's New Machine because I like the movie Fiddler on the Roof. And Montel is the Taylor character. And his thing is he doesn't think he's deserving of a real life, a happy life, unless he gets hold of a new, used, whatever sewing machine so that he can grow his business, gain the respect of the community, and then be worthy, make something of himself so he can feel worthy to go ask his beloved's father if he can have her hand in marriage. And as you go through the movie, it's almost the end of the movie before he ever gets the sewing machine, but he gets all of those things that he was waiting for the sewing machine to get to feel like he deserved to have a real life.
Yeah.
Before the machine ever shows up.
If I
So
wasn't
that's
rich, man.
Exactly. So that's kind of where Montel's New Machine came from. And then as I started developing that, I was like, well, I need to learn new skills. I don't have any skill. I've been going around chasing jobs my whole life. I don't have any real skills myself. So since I've got this thing based on sewing machines, let me crack open a few of them and see if I can start making something where people can take these heirloom machines and either sustain or initiate or pass on traditions of more self-sufficient skill type thing. And then it just turned into I collect all of the antique sewing machines and I fix them up and then I donate them. And then the place I donate them to, they sell them and then they take that money and they put it into their food pantry that they sponsor.
That's absolutely amazing. I was actually watching some of the videos and the way that you cleaned them up, and it was just awesome.
Mm-hmm. Was.
It's what I found to do with my half a hands. Like that's my sense of place. Like
It was funny because I was checking out the one, and you had one from Montgomery Ward. I used to call that Monkey Ward back then. And I was just like, oh shit, this is old school. My man's got old school right here.
Yeah, you said something about like it's only got 20,000 miles on it or something.
Yeah. It looks like you swapped out the tires or what have you, dude. I was digging the other one that you cranked. I saw you had the crank one, the pedal one, and I don't know, pretty much any sewing machine under the sun, as far as I know. I lost count after like 12 or something. I was like, geez.
Well, I have almost 50, so it's understandable.
Wow, almost 50.
Gee.
Who has 50 sewing machines? Oh, wait a minute, you do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez,
And I've gone through. I've probably in the last couple of years, I've probably donated. I have on site 40 something, and I've probably donated a little over 2 dozen in the last couple of years.
That's awesome. And some of these are really old and can bring pretty good money in.
I have some from the 1880s.
Wow.
Super neat.
I have a thimble and a needle and thread, dude.
There you go. Congrats on making the hand sewing work, by the way.
Say
I used
what?
to say congrats on making the hand sewing thing work. That's not easy to do.
Terrible.
I used to crochet and knit. There's some of the skills I wanted to learn when I knew I needed to learn new skills, but that only lasted like a year, and then I had to stop doing it.
Now,
Dara tried to teach me to knit. I had to use a little circle thing. I forget what it was to make a hat.
How'd that
It's a
go?
loom.
Well, I got about this much of it done.
Nice.
So
He
It's not
tried
zero.
hand crocheting too.
Not zero. So it's a win.
well, hey, Lee, when did you serve? Well, you just said 2002?
About 1,000
You
years
said
ago.
2002?
No, I
Okay.
served multiple enlistments. The one that did me in was 2000 to 2006.
Okay, how long were you in the service? How long were you in the service? What was your story, kid? What was your story, kid?
Stories too many to mention. I was 11 Bravo, so I was infantry.
Okay.
Regular Army, and I was stationed at both Fort Drum and Fort Campbell.
Okay. Well, brother, I want to thank you for your service.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank
you
you,
for
sir.
doing.
Thank you, sir. Hey, dude, the other thing, you continuously mention this on the Live to Roll Boys, that you're in the tornado belt, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I was like, geez, what's this kid got going on?
I get stopped by severe weather about as often as I get stopped by the foul-ups of my own body. Like trying to go to this town, Cassville, that I've absolutely fallen in love with. It's a good piece away, and usually whenever the severe weather rolls through, it's in between here and there, so I end up not being able to go. But yeah, I'm I'm right at the sort of the northern front when of Tornado Alley when it comes up through the plains.
Where are you in over in Wisconsin? Where are you at?
Southwest corner.
Okay.
I'm really close to Dubuque, Iowa, actually.
Okay. Well, yeah, I have like this much intelligence as far as geography is concerned. You know.
Oh yeah, tri-states. I got Southwest Wisconsin, Northeast Iowa, and Northwest Illinois.
Jersey, represent.
I've been to Jersey.
PA.
Used to live in New York for a while. I don't like talking about that.
In the city?
No.
Oh, you
No.
was gonna be like, dude, you'd be a fish out of water over there, kid.
Yes, I would. I lived in Rockland County in Stony Point, and
I
I
knew
was
you
fish
had.
out of water there. So
Yeah,
I did not fit in there at all.
yeah, it's a different breed, you might say.
Lots
You
of
know.
old Italian money, I'll put it that way.
Oh, the fucking Goombas and the Guineas and the Guidos, man. Oh, can't throw a rock around here without hitting one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, we watched this channel Max Velocity. And
I was just tuning in. He's got something going on in Wisconsin today.
yeah, and I was just talking to Tara last night. I was like,
Fucking
I
Leon.
wonder if
Minnesota, eh?
he watches the same channel.
Hey, Leon.
Yeah, he has a pretty good channel. Max.
He's awesome. He cuts in with all of the other people that are actually out there driving towards the things, and he's got. I just like his style of presentation as he goes through everything.
I think that he's gonna have his own weather channel at some point.
He should.
He
That dude should
definitely
be on
will.
rope. There should be like a real thing for him.
Should I look into this? Is there something I'm missing here?
Yeah, it's called weather. What is it called?
Max
Max
Velocity.
And it's a weather channel, and he basically tracks severe weather alerts and everything all across the country. And he's got the radar maps, and he's got live feeds to people that are on the ground chasing whatever storm, wherever it's at.
Yeah,
And
and
he does commentary.
Then send me a link.
he just graduated from school, and now his channel has just blown. I mean, it's huge. He does such a good job.
Yeah. There's a lot of technicality in his channel. He does a good job. I don't know anything else about him except for his channel, but yeah,
Yeah,
I watch it a lot.
I just know that there's some crazy weather that he shows.
Mm-hmm.
So, what
Okay.
other hobbies do you have?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I like obviously with sewing machines. I like to sew. I have music. I also I've taken an interest in learning different food preservation things, dehydrating, fermenting. Um, I like. I'm trying to
What
get
kind
more
of
into
fermentations do
better
you
equipped
do?
to like actually design adaptive equipment and to make adaptations to like just regular clothes because buying adaptive clothes can get a bit pricey. Just figuring out ways to do all of that stuff. But aside from all that, I like to I do some outdoor photography that no one sees. um, I have a bunch of old typewriters too. I write poetry and short stories. Um, it takes a very long time to do, but I do it. Um, and that's about it.
What did you say, Tara?
You said you fermented some stuff. Like, what kind of things do you ferment?
I do obviously a lot of vegetable blends. I'll put like leeks, parsnips, um, that kind of stuff all together. Some cauliflower and broccoli kind of things, carrots, onions, that sort of things. And what I normally do is I'll ferment them. I let them hang out in the fridge, and then for a while. And then if I don't think I'm going to eat them, um, I tried an experiment where I cut them up smaller, and then tried to dehydrate them. It didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, but I could still probably, if I did manage to dehydrate them down all the way, I could probably still turn them into like a soup base. That's mainly what I do. I focus on nutrient dense combinations that can be easily reconstituted or added to like a can of soup or something to help people get more nutrients out of like a smaller food budget or whatever if they're having problems.
It's fascinating.
Hey, do
I
you
legally can't sell that or claim to sell it or distribute it in any way, but people know.
do jerky?
No. I do dehydrated meats, but I don't play around with jerky.
Ah,
But
come on.
That's our fave.
It's a
I
beautiful.
know, but meat's expensive, man.
Yeah, Tara, you were doing fermenting. The what was it? Garlic?
I did do garlic and honey, and then I tried to make a ginger bug.
Nice.
Yeah, I have known nothing about it. I don't even know what a ginger bug does.
It's an interesting. The fermenting side is an interesting thing to get into because you actually learn a lot about what goes into what happens to food. So it's very cool that you do that, Tara.
Oh, thanks. I haven't done it in a few weeks, but
I
actually
haven't done it in
before, it's
months,
been
so
longer
you're
than
doing
that.
better than I am.
Yeah, I've never experimented like that until Tara showed me. And Leland said we had a land hurricane last year with 50 million trees due and 100 miles an hour straight. That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, Minnesota gets tossed. Like especially the further north you get, between snow and just massive summer storms, they just get kicked around a lot. So beyond, I'm glad you're okay after all that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. I think Cordy needs to be here because he was, I believe he was in Missouri and now he's in Kansas, which is, they made an entire, well, they didn't make
That's
an
the
entire,
middle of your tornado belt.
Right.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Wizard of Oz, let's just,
So do you do any preparation just in case?
I have in this room that I'm in. This is actually pretty much uh, buried into the hill that my apartment building is located on. Um, you can see the light from my living room window over there, but once you get past like the actual structure of this wall is full concrete wall, like all the way around, and it's built into the ground. So this is my go-to safe spot,
you're in a bunker.
basically. So I just keep, I keep battery stuff in here, candles. I keep water in here if I need to uh, get in here and I don't really have much time to prep anything. I've got some hygiene stuff hidden somewhere through all this stuff. This is mainly my shop where I do all the sewing machine stuff, but I also use it as like just my cave. Like if I'm up in the middle of the night in the weird hours and I don't have energy to actually do anything, this is where I come in here and just get whatever I can from whatever I find online or just listening to music or whatever. This is my hiding spot.
That's your garage, man.
Yeah,
You gotta have a spot, man. You gotta have a spot.
I got a 1-bedroom apartment, so the fact that I have this attached to it is awesome.
Oh, that is really cool.
It is.
Now
Yeah.
you've been looking for a new place too. How
Yeah,
is that
I heard.
affecting
How's that
all of
going?
this?
Well, you were looking at another place, correct?
Yes. That's not going so well. This town, Cassville, that I absolutely love because it's right next to the Mississippi River. Bald eagles everywhere. It's got a ferry. It's got parks. It's got all these cool things. Doesn't have any stinking housing.
Oh,
There's tourist traps all over the place because people come from Iowa all the time on the ferry. All summer long, people on motorcycles ride through, but they're not. They're trying to get built up for ADA accessibility, but it's kind of slow going because there's only like 700 people there.
Oh,
But I've got a few people that are brainstorming solutions, so I can at least get the shop opened up there. So that way I can free up a little bit of space in my apartment and I can still get the health benefits from going there. Because when I get there, the constant headache clears up, the light sensitivity goes away. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's the elevation because here it's way high up in the hills and everything. And down there, I'm right at the bed of the Mississippi River, so I think it's the elevation thing.
Okay.
But yeah, there's people that are kind of keeping an eye out for me in my absence when I can't get there, but I still like to go there and talk to the people. But I
Well,
haven't seen or heard of anything yet.
I'm sorry that you didn't find a place. I thought that would be.
I heard you like. I mean, this is still a good spot. I'm not being forced out. It's not a big rush. It's just it's one of those opportunity things. Like if there's an opportunity to be in a town where I can actually get around just on my arm power, and I can be outside and about and around people more and doing things with the community more than I can here, and I can have the benefits of um, less symptomology, then why not? At least see if it's possible I can get there, and if not, then as God wills.
Did, did you just say symptomology?
I did. I've got degrees, man. I use words that
I love that shit, man. When something doesn't work, I make that shit up all the time. You know, symptomatic? Ah, it's for bookheads. Get out of here. Symptomology, man.
I can't help it. Sometimes I'll just be talking, and someone's looking at me, and their eyes kind of glaze over, and I'm just like, I'm doing it again, aren't I? Like, yeah. How far
Yeah.
back do I need to go?
Well, I'll tell you this. If you talk to me and my eyes are glazing over, it's because I'm listening to you. You know, I'm one of those, one sensory gone and another one, kicks in. How intense are the headaches, dude? Like,
They're pretty bad.
is it a constant ow or is it like, ah? You know, like,
It's
Man.
say you're walking around. You guys have seen the Saw movies, I assume.
yes.
You're one of them. Okay, so say you're walking around with one of those head traps, but instead of like the bear trap or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a C clamp right here on the temples, and then they're always tensed up just enough so you can never forget that they're there. It's enough to be painful and sharp, but also kind of like a crushing type feeling. And then put another one from here all the way down through the bottom of the jaw and into the nerve that goes into this neck. And then cinch that down. And then every once in a while, just walk up and slap the thing that to make it a little bit tighter. And then crank them both down. And then I'm in bed for days when that happens.
Good.
They're pretty intense.
Is this a constant borderline migraine type of thing?
Yes.
My wife deals with migraines, and I've had two in my entire life, and I wouldn't wish them on anybody. I mean, the headaches that I get
them all the time.
AD every now and then you get that wah 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 wah
Right.
wah wah.
Yeah.
But it's just, I know that's gonna go away. You know what I mean? But
That's what I mean. Like I have all the toys. I get the AD and everything else, but I also have a lot of sensation in all four of my partially paralyzed limbs, so I get all of the pain too. I can feel my bones grinding themselves to powder. I get the migraines that take me out for days at a time and it's just so powerful. Like I get nauseous sometimes.
Yeah.
And then like thinking hurts. Like it's just so bad sometimes. But it's either this is what it is, and the alternative is to not have survived the things that brought me here, and that's just not a viable solution in my mind. So I'll go through it. And it's temporary. This life is temporary. The things that happen in this life are temporary, and the things that God has promised afterwards, that's where my eyes are set. So what happens here, as Paul said, these light and momentary afflictions, they don't matter.
Now I'm curious because I've watched a lot of the videos that you do, and you always go into scripture, religion, and stuff like that. And I have no problem. I'm a big believer in my boy JC, just so you know. But however, is that right out of Jump Street, or did you go born again, or what's the dealio with that? Where did you get the introduction?
So the story is I was born into a highly factionalized, deeply quote unquote religious type of family environment. I'm not going to go into too many details because completely.
That's your world, dude.
But
We're going down to Wheezy now, right?
Texas, Louisiana, Wisconsin,
Yeah.
everywhere. And basically, what turned into is all of the things that were done to me and the people around me were couched in some sort of religious justification. And so, as a kid, someone told me that if I accepted Jesus into my heart as my personal Lord and Savior, then He would protect me, and that He would take care of me, and He would love me, and everything else. And 3 years later, when all of this stuff was still happening, somebody said, "Well, obviously that means God doesn't want you. Something has happened to you that makes you too dirty for Him, and so you've been rejected because this God doesn't let this stuff happen to those people that are His."
Dude,
And
man, you're Old Testament, man. I'm a New Testament guy. I can't. The old is just
I'm both
old for me.
Testaments currently. I'm
I-
both Testaments. But I
Old is
rebelled. I took that to heart and I rebelled for 27 years. And I fought against. I tried to convince people to not put their faith in God and everything else. I went full book, and I came to the point where I had in my, after so many betrayals and after so many things and going through everything with the disease, with the disability and everything else, I got to the point where I was literally constantly steeped in a murderous rage. And I wanted to kill everything and everybody around me. And I had just about made up my mind to start doing it. And I told God, I said, I know this isn't why you made me. This is not the life I'm supposed to have. This is not the heart that you built into me. So either kill me or fix it. But if you fix it, help me to know who you really are. Because my entire life, people have been telling me these terrible things about who you are. And I want to know the truth. Obviously, He didn't kill me. So after that, I went for years deep dive into study of Scripture, and I realized that quite a few things. But it comes down to, I don't call myself a Christian. I belong to Christ because He is faithful to what He has said and what He has done. And the term Christian has come to mean so many things that it means nothing. So I don't think calling myself or identifying myself as a Christian states the level of relationship that I have with Jesus. And my stance with Scripture is that my thing is I take God at His every single word, every single day, in every single instance, and I live according to application of that. So I don't have to go around with the Bible in my hand and preaching the these and thous and the burn or burn kind of thing, but I stand on the truth of Scripture.
No, dude, I'm with you, man. It's just, Christianity nowadays has almost been stuck like a four-letter word. So anybody that's really talking, it's almost like you're a redheaded stepchild or something.
Yeah, and the stigma with the name, this is why I kind of distance myself from it. The stigma with the name, or the branding of Christian and Christianity lends itself to the fact that Christianity in and of itself is literally a pagan man-made religion from the 4th century. But people have embraced that. Like, if you want to say that you trust in Jesus, that you follow Him, that you love Him, that you serve Him, then you have to call yourself a Christian. And people do so many things under that banner that drives people away from what they could find about who God is, what He has said about Himself and ourselves and this love for us, that they're turned away because of the bad behavior of people who presume to announce to the entire world that they speak for God, but they really don't. And they hide this banner of Christianity. So I try to get away from that so people can hear what I'm saying and say, well, He's not tying it to all of the bad behavior and everything else, and He's not even saying, look at me. He's saying, this is what I found in Scripture that He has benefited from, so maybe it's worth checking out.
Hey, dude, I'm with you, man. One of the things I find about any form of religion, or any type of lifestyle, regardless of what it might be, if you're like sort of, doing what you're doing and stuff like that, everything is fine. It's when you get to the extremes, and regardless of what you do, that's where you have a problem. You know what I mean? If somebody is going to beat you to death with, scripture and stuff like that, hey, you're never going to get it because you're not going to want to deal with that. And if somebody's, regardless of whatever it may be, I mean, think about it. I drink beer. I know you mentioned it once or twice. Regardless, don't care.
I can't drink.
No,
I have a autoimmune response if I even try to
no.
drink.
But my point is, I don't drink beer to get all liquored up. I drink beer just because I like drinking beer, and it's just sort of, brings me back or what have you. But it's easy to abuse something like that.
Yeah.
Any type. I mean, geez, you're telling me you got headaches, you got this, that, and everything else. Do they have you in any form of narcotics or anything to like sort of subdue that?
Nope.
Well, would they want to?
Oh yeah, they want to put me on all kinds of stuff.
Exactly. How easy is that to get out of hand? Once again, used properly, not a problem.
Yep.
The extreme, that's a problem. This extreme, that's a problem. You were saying just a little while ago, you were, found yourself in a bit of a murderous rage. I'm going to make a bold assumption and say that may be considered a bit of an extreme.
I was definitely in the wrong spot, and
Okay.
my justification was what had been done to me and my children and everything. There was some sort of, anytime you take an ideology to the full extent of using it to justify violence or hatred or wanting the destruction of another person,
Yeah.
because they disagree with you, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's a bit of an extreme. Dude, sorry, I'm not looking to cut you off again, but it's just like the more you speak, the more little snippets I hear. You got kids?
I'm father to 4, 2 are living, 2 are not.
Oh, God bless you, man. I've always found that to be a huge hole in my life. I'm the youngest of 8, dude. I wanted 5 kids, but that ship came and went, in my mid and late 20s. I stomped around all pissed off for quite some time. That's prior to me meeting Mare, because
I made my own stupid decisions, and part of that is the consequences of those, like picking the wrong person to put your life together with.
ooh, baby, join the club, man.
But yeah, I mean, even that just informs how much I have to realize day by day by day that God is faithful in everything that He said that He would do and bring about. He said He's near to the brokenhearted. I've had my heart broken with my kids, living or not living, and all of the things that happened there, and all of everything, over and over and over and over again. And the one constant is that there isn't a single time throughout my life where something terrible hasn't happened to me, whether I was thinking about it at the time or not, where God's testimony of Himself can be proven false. Most of the gigantic cataclysms in my life have been self-inflicted, or something that some person has decided to inflict on me for their own reasons. But the recovery, the ability to survive and to be sustained through them, because our lives do have purpose, is nothing but evidence that our lives do have purpose, and we do have a place, no matter what the circumstances are.
Well, I mean, I'll absolutely, hallelujah, I'm out there, Brody, because, I'm a Jersey boy. After I got injured, hey, easy, kid. But I got all busted up. I ended up over here at Kessler Institute here in Jersey. And it just so happened, it's barely a half hour from my house. And it just so happens they're one of the flagships as far as spinal cord injury research is concerned. So I realized my situation, the situation that I found myself in, and I tell you, as soon as I possessed the ability to get in touch with anybody that was anybody, I felt possessed that it was my moral obligation. Don't get me wrong. I'm not being a martyr, none of that, but I found it was my moral obligation to be to get involved with research and everything, because there's a lot of people that would like to, but they don't really possess the ability. How far is this, everything else like that? You know what? talk about a sense of purpose. And not only that, but possibly as it pertains to, not just spinal cord injury, but I've learned so many things from so many of the doctors that I've been involved with. And, it's been 13, 14 years now. Wow, I don't even know how long or how many trials I've been involved in. But I swear a lot of times, Lee, I find myself living a sci-fi movie. Some of the things that I've been through, it's just really insane. But however, I really think, that seems to me, sort of to be part of my purpose, and not only that, but I find it fascinating. Um, and some of the things that they try and do, and I mean, I don't know where it's going, where it's not going, but it's just pure concentrated cool, my man. And it really does give you like I'm supposed to be here right now. This is where I got injured. This is why I got injured. And I mean, I don't want to be all cliche, but there was an opportunity there. I mean, these guys been in my house, and hey, maybe next time you come, I'll point you to the direction of Kessler. There's nothing to see other than a building, but um, it's actually it's pretty neat, and much like anything else, just everybody, you have to look for that, especially something as catastrophic an injury with the magnitude of spinal cord injury. Seclusion is right out of jump, man. I mean, that's the first thing you realize. You may have had 10 billion friends prior. You get injured, poof, they run in every direction. They hang out for a little bit, but then it's gone.
But one of the sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, dude, you're never gonna cut me off. Trust me.
But
Shut
uh,
up,
one of the hobbies that I forgot to mention earlier when Tara asked, when Rob asked, was I study foreign languages. I had been
Oh wow.
I
looking
did
to
hear
be
you say that.
a missionary to
living in
Ukraine, Eastern Ukraine, Western Russia, before that went the way it did. And then right after that is when I ended up in the chair, so I guess I'm not going to Ukraine. But I started studying Russian and Ukraine, the languages, and there's a folk song that I came across, and the thing of the song is that it's from the perspective of a soldier, a Russian soldier, and he's listening to his other soldiers talk about all of the cool things that they have to look forward to going back home to. Like one's talking about his fiance is going to go home and marry, and one's got his crops, and someone else has a kid on the way. All these things, and this dude is sitting there and he's realizing, I don't have any of that. And the song is called Ni dla меня. It means so. The perspective of this guy singing the song is that since these people have so much to lose if they don't make it back, even if none of that applies to me, then my purpose has to be to do everything I can to make sure that I'm helping them get back to those things, even if I don't have them for myself. So that's kind of how I do everything. If I don't end up with having, somebody else in my life, if I don't end up with a family and a household that I've always wanted, if I don't end up with, like my own shop or successful business or whatever, it's not for me. The things I do, hopefully, are helping people build in very quiet, very anonymous ways what they need, whether they realize they're waiting for them or not, so that they can have the successes that may truthfully be beyond me, and that's fine.
dude. You're a deep man, Lee. Seriously.
No, I just have a lot of time to think.
Drop me a line. I want to suck the brains out of your head because, dude, we
I had to
can.
do it quick because apparently they're getting scrambled. So
We're definitely gonna have him back. I mean,
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. It's
I-
getting late. I'm looking at the times like we've gone well over. I'm sorry.
Yeah, listen, boys. I know. I just got a yodel from the missus, but listen, Lee, stay out of trouble, kid. You guys, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Okay.
Reach
I
out,
try really hard to stay out of trouble.
dude. reach out. I would love to talk to you a little bit.
All right,
Again,
man.
first off, I can talk the ears off a phone book there, kid. And it seems like you're not too far off yourself. But as
Well,
for
I used
me,
to teach and I used to preach and do all these things. So
well,
running my mouth kind of comes with the
I want
territory.
to hear it all. But however, this Angry Quad signing off. Yibbity dip. You guys do whatever you got to do. I'll be in touch.
I want to
Later.
thank you for being on the channel tonight. It's been really interesting, and I really hope to have you back.
I'm looking forward to the invitation. Now, I hope I didn't monopolize too much of anybody's time.
No, man, the show is about you, and that's what we did. So,
Nothing
with
about
that,
me.
with that said, man, we're gonna have to have you back. I love you guys.